What's up, my guys? And welcome back to the Wrestling Report Card. I'm your host, Cody, and today we're going to be breaking down the latest episode of SmackDown. Now, for those of y'all don't know, what I do is I take each show, I grade every match and most segments on that show, and at the end of it, I tally it up and I give that sumbitch its own report card. Now, if you ain't interested, I understand, because I'm a dumbass and most of the stuff I say is stupid. But if you are, stay tuned, because we got a lot to talk about, my guy. I mean, you got a huge return tonight. Not only that, but you got Ronda Rousey in the house, who's supposed to be gone on suspension. And then, in the main event, you got the IC, the Intercontinental Championship on the line, in a hard-hitting banger of a match. So without further ado, buckle up your seatbelts, and let's get to grading. In our opening match, we got Raquel and Aaliyah taking on Shotzi and Xia Li in the quarterfinal match of this women's tag team tournament. And guess which one of these teams is actually a tag team? That's right, haha, neither one. But hey, it's a start, so let's focus on that. And we start the match with Xia and Shotzi doing a great job isolating Aaliyah and keeping Raquel out. It's like they've been doing this for years. But of course, the monster among women finally tagged in, and I tell you what, outside of a small flurry from Shotzi, Raquel just laid waste to both of these women and led to her hitting her one-arm powerbomb onto Xia Li to get the 1-2-3 and move her team along in this here tournament. That was a good showing for Raquel and pretty solid action in that match, but I'm only going to give it a C+. Again, how are you going to have a quarterfinals match in a tag team tournament where neither team is a tag team? Like, it don't make sense. Have you ever made the quarterfinals of a tournament? It's pretty hard to do. Like, they call it the Elite Eight in college basketball for a reason. But I digress, because next up, we got Drew McIntyre in a ring with a hot mic. The funniest part of this whole segment was Drew coming out and saying, "I'm sure you all think I'm going to go on and on about Karrion Kross, but I'm not." And then he literally proceeded to go on and on about Mr. Kross, well, until his girl Scarlett came walking down. However, as she did that, the Usos snuck into the ring and laid out Drew right in the middle of that sumbitch. Now, the Usos, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, are they in cahoots? Are they not? I mean, who knows? I'm going to give that there a C+. I love that it left us on a cliffhanger and that we're adding fresh faces to the title mix. You can't be mad at that, and we're just going to have to see where this goes. Next up, we then witnessed Kofi Kingston literally get murdered on live TV. Now, I hope all is well there, but that just happened, and I still got a show to do, so we got to keep moving on. And they did just that. As next up, we got our big return of the night. As you got Hit Row. That's right, Hit Row is back, and tonight they're in action against Aaron and Gregory. Yep, we'll go with Aaron and Gregory for now. Now, one might say that they really swerved us with this Hit Row comeback. I couldn't help myself there. And Suge Knight, I mean, Top Dollar didn't disappoint. I tell you what, at one point, he picked up both them sumbitches and slammed them. And yeah, this one didn't last long, as Hit Row got the 1-2-3 in their big comeback. I hope I'm not starting to sound repetitive, but I'm also going to give that a C+. I mean, I know it was just a squash match, but it was short, sweet, and definitely did what it needed to do in Hit Row's big return. Next up, we got the huge contract signing, as you got Liv Morgan and the gauntlet winner from last week, Shayna Baszler, signing that contract to compete for that there SmackDown Women's Championship. But hold up, because we start this whole sumbitch out with Ronda Rousey, who's supposed to be suspended. Well, she climbs the barricade, waltzes right into the ring with a briefcase, and grabs a mic. She then gets on it, starts bringing up stuff like her fines, and then she opens the briefcase and just dumps money all over the table. She then walks out, dares security to come mess with her, and as soon as one of them put their hands on him, she put that sumbitch right in the armbar before heading up the ramp. As she got to the top, she then gets stopped by her former MMA friend and partner, Shayna Baszler, to which Ronda says, "What happened to you? You used to be a killer." Well, Ronda, calm down, because Vince McMahon is what happened, okay? Anyways, we finally get Shayna and Liv in the ring to do the damn thing, and Liv must be new to this because she came down with an arm cast and acted like nothing was gonna go wrong. Have you ever been to a WWE contract signing, Liv? You must not. Shayna Baszler saw that, and it must have looked like a target in her eyes because she grabbed it and she tried to snap that sumbitch in half when she stomped on it. But she didn't do enough because as she went to lift Liv up, Liv countered and DDT'd her right through the damn table. I'm gonna slap a B- on that. I thought Ronda opening this segment was great, as well as her interaction with Shayna. I was really intrigued with that. However, I'm just gonna go on record and say Liv Morgan needs a manager. If we're gonna put a main event title on her, she needs a manager because her mouthpiece just doesn't cut it, my guy. Whatever, let's move on. Next up, we got Drew McIntyre taking on the undisputed tag team champions, the Usos, in a handicap match. Now, the Usos were dominating most of the early going of this match when out of nowhere, Madcap Moss introduces himself, and I guess instead of getting DQ'd like every other match, we just switched it over to a tag team match. I don't know, I just work here, okay? I'll tell you what though, this match did not disappoint. Even with the distraction from Sami Zayn, Drew was able to get up, hit the Claymore on Jimmy Uso, and get the 1-2-3 over the tag team champs when they're not even a tag team. I'm not even gonna get into that. Anyways, after the match, Jey Uso tried to sneak attack Drew, but all he got was DDT. Drew then set him up to get his ass claymored, but Sami Zayn surprisingly sacrificed himself and took Jay's place. My guy really wants to be in the bloodline, damn it. I'm gonna slap a B- on that as well. Now, aside from the tag team champs losing and the ref just letting Madcap Moss interfere in an entire match, that was pretty solid action throughout the match. And it might just be me, but I'm really loving this Sami Zayn angle that we got of him wanting to be in the bloodline. If that's what it takes for him to make his face turn, by God, so be it. But that's enough talk, because it's time for the main event. You got the Intercontinental title on the line, as you got the champ, Gunther, defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. And I tell you what, when that man Gunther chops you, your ancestors are gonna feel that sumbitch. Now, Shinsuke ain't no slouch neither, as he got plenty of receipts in during this match as well. Fast forward, and we have Gunther going for his powerbomb. Nakamura counters, lands a knee on the back of Gunther's neck. Gunther kicks out. He then loads up for the Kinshasa, but Gunther bounced up, hit him with a lariat. Then we got Nakamura. Then it's Gunther. Then it's Nakamura. Then boom! Gunther finally hits the powerbomb, gets the 1-2-3, and retains his Intercontinental title. What a physical match. For that main event, I'm gonna slap a B on that. Like, these two really went after each other. Now, that being the main event, that concludes another episode of SmackDown, another episode of the Report Card. I'm not gonna lie, this was probably the worst episode under Triple H of Raw or SmackDown that we've had, but we can't harp on my guy too much, because you can tell he has bright things for the future. With that being said though, we got all the grades in. Now let's take a look at the report card. After tallying everything up, we came out with a final letter grade of a B-. That's right, an 80%. Again, not the best episode of SmackDown, but with all these returns, we can only be curious as to who's going to return at Clash at the Castle coming up. With that being said, that concludes another episode of the Wrestling Report Card. Again, I'm Cody. Thank you everybody that has subscribed already. If you haven't, go ahead and hit that button for me, man. It ain't gonna hurt you. Other than that, I hope all y'all stay safe and have a nice day.